Welcome everyone and thank you so much for joining in. So as you can see, the price of Bitcoin got gravitated towards this CPR line that we have been talking since days, because we knew that since this was a VCPR in the past Bitcoin price action, whenever we have seen this VCPR forming at the end, the price of Bitcoin has always got gravitated towards this CPR line before again choosing a trend duration. And now since the price is already at the CPR line, and this CPR line is also acting as a strong line of support between this 40,000 to 42,000 range, what should we expect next? Because we know now, since this is no more of VCPR, if the price of Bitcoin is going to find a proper support between this line of 40,000 to 42,000, then we could be also seeing some really nice movement here in price action of Bitcoin. But failing to find support around this 40,000 to 42,000 range, we know the next possible target according to the CPR line is lying around this 36,300, 36,400 price area. So that's why, guys, that's why if we want to avoid this, then the price of Bitcoin at any cost must stay above this CPR line, and this CPR line is definitely going to be acting as a strong line of support. And beside the CPR line, we also have another strong support from this moving averages. Let me show you that here. Now let's look at this price action in a daily time frame using this moving averages, because yesterday we talked about this scenario where we said if there is going to be any sort of a retracement, not just only the CPR line between this 40,000 to 42,000 is going to be a strong line of support, but also the moving averages. And now as you can see, the 20 exponential moving average is holding the price around this 41,000 area, because we know in the past Bitcoin price action, whenever the price of Bitcoin has found a support around this 20 exponential moving average, after that we have seen some relief rally type of scenario playing out. So that's why if the price of Bitcoin is going to find support above this or remain above this 40,000 range, right, then we could be still expecting some sort of a relief rally type of scenario playing out here in price action of Bitcoin. But in general, we are still aware the crossover what we are seeing here, 50 exponential moving average at the top, green line, which is the 20 exponential at the bottom. After that, we have seen a price retracement, because this indicates a clear sign of weakness. And if you see the opposite, where the 20 exponential appears at the top and 50 at the bottom, after that you can see the price of Bitcoin has shown some really nice impulsive movement. But right now, as you can see, in our case, this is a bearish crossover, just like here from past Bitcoin price action, where the red line, the 50 exponential, is appearing at the top and 20 at the bottom. So if we want to end this bearish crossover scenario, then we have to also form a bullish crossover here, where the 20 exponential moving average will be appearing at the top and 50 at the bottom. So that's why for us it's very important that the price of Bitcoin remains above this 40,000 area. And beside this example, let me also show you this one scenario which we have already talked in my previous videos. So now if you look at this price action again here in a daily time frame, we can see very clearly in the past Bitcoin price action we have talked about this double bottom formation that was being placed, and also at the same time this 1 2 3 reversal pattern. But now since the price of Bitcoin was unable to break out of this neckline area that was lying between this 44,000 to 45,000 range, what should we expect next? Because in the past Bitcoin price action, as you can see, failing to find support or breaking this resistance line around 45,000 has led to some bigger price retracement. So right now, since the price of Bitcoin is also showing this reversal type of scenario, are we going to expect the price of Bitcoin also to see another bigger retracement around this 36,000 range? Because we know right now the price of Bitcoin has some strong line of support from this 20 exponential moving average and also the CPR line between this 40,000 to 42,000 range. So if we manage to stay above that, that will be very nice. But if we fail, right, if we fail to find support around that range, then we could be forming another bearish scenario here for price action of Bitcoin. Because if you simply look at this formation here, it actually looks like more of a ascending triangle type of formation, and this in a downtrend is actually considered as a bearish scenario. Let me show you here. So this here is one example what I also want to include in today's video, because if you are aware, if you can see the way the price of Bitcoin is forming this ascending triangle in a downtrend, it is usually looked as a very bearish scenario, to be honest, because if the price here is going to fail the support from the CPI line and also the support from this 20 exponential moving average, then we have to be aware, because in that case, guys, the price of Bitcoin could be getting gravitated again towards this lower line area, which could be around this 38,000 range from this movement, and finally breaking here to the downward direction, because this has happened here in past Bitcoin price action. And if this is going to play out, then you can see, guys, the price target here to the downside could be approaching around this 30,000 range according to this ascending triangle. So to avoid this, we have to remain above this 40,000 range at any cost. And also, if this is going to happen, I mean, if the price of Bitcoin is going to see this retracement towards this 30,000 range, will it make sense? Because if you are aware, I showed you this one worst case scenario, and also according to this Wyckoff's market cycle, this area, if we are going to see this retracement around this 30,000 range, could be the accumulation area according to this Wyckoff's market cycle, because according to the market cycle right now, getting rejection around this 45,000 range, price failing to break out of the resistance line in the past Bitcoin price action, you can see has led to some bigger price retracement. So if this is going to happen one more time, we have to be careful, because this here could be a redistribution phase where the price of Bitcoin is going to see a movement here in this manner, guys, forming an actual accumulation phase. Only after that, price showing a new mark-up phase. So that is the reason why this worst case scenario should be monitored very, very closely. But if you look at the price movement right now in a smaller time frame, let me show you another interesting scenario which could be also playing out here. Now let's look at this price action of Bitcoin in a 4-hour time frame, because if you look at this price movement here, I want to show you a very interesting price structure. The reason why I'm actually saying you the price of Bitcoin at any cost must stay above this 40,000 range is because whenever we have formed a similar price structure, in that case, breaking this rising trendline support, every time we approach around this rising trendline, after that we saw a really nice bounce. So if the price of Bitcoin is going to see a retracement towards this 40,000 range and fail to find support above it, then this is also going to trigger another sell-off type of scenario. In that case, as you can see, the lower price target here in the upcoming days could be around this 35 to 36,000 range, because we know in the past Bitcoin price action, whenever we have seen a similar scenario unfolding like this here, right, you can see the price, after failing to find support at this rising trend line, has seen a retracement, and in that case you can see the lower price target was always triggered. If you go back here and look at this in a bigger picture, you can see this has happened. I mean, the price, after failing to find support at this rising trend line, has led to some decent price pullback. Here you can see the target was somewhere around 31,000, price came around 33,000, and after that showed some impulsive movement. Again, if you go backwards and look at this bigger picture again, you can see very clearly, guys, this actually matters a lot, the formation that we have been forming, because if you look at this one here, for example, as well, the price of Bitcoin, after failing to find support at this rising trend line, got gravitated towards the lower price area, and this target was also reached, and after that we started this new rally. So now if the price of Bitcoin is going to fail to find support at this rising trend line, we could be seeing another retracement here towards this 36,000 range. So that is also a reason why I'm actually showing you with this 20 exponential moving average acting as a support. The price must hold there, and also from this CPI indicator. So these are some of the interesting scenarios I thought sharing with you in today's episode. If you enjoyed the work, then please hit the like button, and also for those individuals watching this for the first time, hit that subscribe button and the bell. So by saying this, I'm signing out. My name is Anup. Bye bye.